Today, we're talking about something you might not expect to be scary puppets. Sure, most people think of puppets as cute or funny. They're supposed to be for kids, right? But not all puppet shows are fun and friendly. Some of them are just creepy, from weird old TV shows to strange puppets that were never meant for kids. Today, we're looking at the most horrifying puppet shows ever made. Our first show is definitely the most horrifying puppet show we'll be talking about today. Let's watch and see if you agree with me on that.
This thing is called Rafuck. It kind of sounds like what the f***, which is something I said many times while researching this puppet. Now, believe it or not, this terrifying creature was once a very popular children's character in Czechoslovakia. He was featured on a show called Slaneko, which was like a Czech version of Sesame Street. When the show ended in 1989, Rafuck disappeared and was allegedly thrown in a dumpster, never to be seen again. That is, until a random YouTuber found him and brought the character back to life.
I honestly don't understand why this cursed puppet was even allowed on a children's TV show. It's literally horrifying. And what makes it worse is that people are actually bringing it back and becoming fans of it again. That's seriously too much for me. The next show we're going to talk about is probably the most popular and well-known puppet show that was actually not meant for kids. So, I understand why people say it's horrifying. However, I'm not sure why they still chose to use bright colors and themes that look like they're meant for children. That's probably why so many kids got confused and thought it was a real kids show. And if you haven't guessed yet, of course, I'm talking about the iconic Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. If you haven't heard of it, that's okay. We're going to watch a clip that will explain it much better.
If you were around YouTube back in 2011, then you probably remember this series called Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. This childlike puppet show took YouTube by storm with its dark and twisted imagery.
For me?
Father! Pesky bee?
Each episode revolves around three characters: a yellow childlike humanoid with blue hair and overalls, a green duck with a brown suit, and a tall red humanoid with a mop-like head. A typical episode usually begins with all three characters chilling at home when suddenly an object like a book, clock, or computer would come to life and begin to sing a song. As the song progresses, it becomes apparent that the object singing has ulterior sinister motives. The climax of each episode is typically a plot twist involving escalating psychological horror which culminates into gore and graphic violence. Later in the series, the characters begin questioning the nature of their reality and the bizarre messages of the singing characters. The series then ends with all the characters now being a different color, reliving the events of the first episode.
Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is definitely more tame than the last one. But it's still extremely disturbing. And what's interesting is that there have been a lot of theories about the real meaning behind the show. It actually makes you want to learn more about the lore instead of just being scared, which is pretty unique for a creepy puppet show. The next show you might know if you're from the UK or if you're interested in lost media.
This is Mr. Blobby, and believe it or not, this terrifying creature was once a beloved and very popular children's character in the UK back in the early 90s. Mr. Blobby is as popular in the UK as Barney is to the kids of America. He was originally featured on a TV show called Noel's House Party that took to the televisions of the UK in the early 90s. Mr. Blobby's popularity grew so much that they opened an entire fleet of children's theme parks in his name, sparking a nationwide surge to make the trip to the beloved character's parks. Here's where things take a dark twist. All of the parks went bankrupt after about 10 years and had to be closed down, with immediate effect. The terrifying part of all this is that they're now abandoned and considered haunted to this day. People have visited some of the parks and have even made claims to have seen a figure lurking around in a Mr. Blobby costume. Is it really him?
Even though Mr. Blobby is a very colourful puppet, there's still something really unsettling about how he looks, and seeing him move around on screen makes it even worse. I'm honestly glad I never saw this show as a little kid. I know it would have given me nightmares. What's even creepier is that he still has theme parks, and some people say they're haunted even today. Now we have another European show. This time, it's an Estonian children's show called Mummija Abits. This one is definitely in competition with Rafuck as the most horrifying puppet show ever. Just look at these terrifying images. I'm not sure why so many European puppet shows are genuinely scary looking. Maybe if you're from Estonia or Europe, it's not creepy to you. But honestly, I can't imagine any child wanting to watch this. Next up is what I call the creepy version of Sesame Street, and it even has a similar name. It's called Peppermint Park.
Peppermint Park, a late 80s direct-to-video disaster. A mixture of live-action, puppets, and animation. As always, educational with good intentions, but the puppets were so creepy. Like Ernie, for example. Just listen to him talk.
It's me, Ernie. Today on Peppermint Park, we're introducing the letter M. It's such a great letter.
Good intentions? I don't think so. That's absolutely terrifying. It seriously feels like the puppets are staring straight into your soul, and why did they have to give them such creepy voices? Something about this just feels cursed to me. You've probably never heard of our next show. It's called Los Clones.
The Clones was a very weird Spanish South America television program that aired on Aztec TV back in the early 2000s, about puppet clones modeled after popular people in media at the time with over-exaggerated features like Michael Jackson and others.
Listo. Qué bonito quedaste, hijo mío. Bueno, tal vez te hice la nariz un poco grande, pero si no te gusta, podré cepillarla como le hicieron a tu papito, que se la operó hasta que le quedó perfecta.
The show was known for its humor, but also for its creepiness and unsettled vibes. The puppets look possessed and very disturbing, especially for a younger audience to watch. The show received a lot of backlash for being too creepy that it was pulled off air and all episodes were destroyed for some reason. The only evidence left about the existence of this show is the memories of those who were traumatized by watching it, and a 10-minute video on YouTube posted by this YouTube account over 10 years ago.
I get that puppets were really popular back in the day, especially in the 80s and early 90s, but no one thought that making celebrity puppets would actually look terrifying to children. Nothing about this show feels right. It just gives off a really dark feeling. I'm honestly glad it's over now. Now, we've probably all heard of Jim Henson's iconic franchise called The Muppets. But today we're talking about the original show from the 1970s. The show itself isn't necessarily creepy, unless you're just scared of puppets in general. But this one segment from the show is actually pretty disturbing.
In 1976, the Swiss experimental theater group Mummenschanz appeared on the Muppet Show. Mummenschanz did a routine where their expressions changed by tearing pieces of paper off of masks with drawings on them. Things then got pretty strange. Mummenschanz did a routine wearing sculptable masks made out of clay. One member was great at sculpting his face and the other was terrible. They sculpted their faces until they became mashed together into one big deformed clay face. Many people wonder why this performance was deemed kid-friendly.
Absolutely not. I totally agree with people who ask why this performance was ever seen as okay for children. It's really not. It's just pure nightmare fuel. Do you agree? Well, that's all for today, peonies. Let me know in the comments, which one of these puppet shows did you find the most horrifying? And don't forget, leave a flower emoji in your comment and I'll give you a heart. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.